tum, 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 tum. 테나 어서오세요. 테나. 김파장님이 어서오세요. 테나. 소리 좀 큰가요?
After a year on the road, I thought I'd get tired of traveling. The endless clatter of railways, highways, and
소리 큰가요? 아니면 일단 줄여놓고 작으면 다시 올릴게요.
After a year on the road, I thought I'd get tired of traveling. The endless clatter of railways, highways, and everything in between.
이쪽으로 가야 되나?
But as my train pulled into the station at Bellariva, I felt every bit as excited as the first day of my journey. A whole year. It felt like a lifetime. The places I'd seen, the people I'd met, of course, the forgotten treasures I'd given a new lease of life along the way. I'm a restorer by trade. Bringing our most beloved possessions back to life is what I love to do. I'd been traveling for months, working my way from one town to the next, fixing everything from family heirlooms to VCRs. Bellariva was my chance to take a break. Unfortunately, that would have to wait until after I'd unpacked.
미술쟁이구나. 야.
My parents took this after I made my first repair. It seems like a lifetime ago. I picked up these sunglasses on my last stop. Hopefully I'm cool enough to pull them off. I saw a guitarist wearing these at a show once. Rock and roll repair woman, at your service. Looking forward to taking more close-ups of my fingers with this. My favorite overalls. These will never go out of style. Who doesn't love a scrunchie? Practical and stylish. Finally, I'd made it to Bellariva. I'd come for the food festival, taking place in a few days' time. After living off TV dinners and instant ramen for the last few months, I was craving a decent meal. Of course, I'd need to earn enough money to pay for it, so I figured I'd head out the next day and find some work. My parents never wanted me to go. They wanted me to stay in their shop and have a simple, stationary life. I knew there was a world out there, beyond the four walls of our antique store, that I had to be a part of. I daydreamed constantly about the weird and wonderful places each of our antiques came from. I loved figuring out their stories, revealing the memories hidden beneath the screws and wires. My story in Bellariva began with a little girl and a voice she was longing to hear. It was my first morning in Bellariva, and I couldn't wait to leave my hotel and explore. It was a quiet town, its streets and alleyways basking peacefully in the hot morning sun. In the main square, meanwhile, preparations were underway for the festival in a few days' time. As I handed out my flyers, I wondered what the people of Bellariva would need me to fix. So far, everything here seemed perfect. I was starting to worry I'd made a mistake when I felt someone tapping me on the back.
Hi, I'm Izzy. Do you know how to fix things?
It was a little girl, maybe 7 years old, who must have gotten hold of one of my flyers. She rummaged around in her backpack until she hauled out a battered red cassette deck.
My tape is broken and I can't make it work anymore. I tried to fix it myself, but there's this metal thing in the way. Can you try?
Fine.
Why did you do that? How did you do that? I didn't see.
Still not working. Something else must be wrong. Aha! Those batteries look like they need replacing. Luckily, I have some spares.
배터리가 이상하지? 야.
Will you dream a dream for me? If I sit by your side and hold you so tight.
When it finished, Izzy picked up the tape deck and tucked it carefully into her backpack.
Thanks, Maria. You're the best person at fixing things ever.
No problem. Who was that singing? They're very good.
It's my mum. She's not here anymore.
Izzy trailed off. It was the kind of silence a cassette tape would never be enough to fill. When Izzy's friends called for her, she dug deep into her pockets, looking for something to pay me with. Eventually, she produced a grand total of a stick of gum, 3 mismatched buttons, and a yo-yo.
아니, 좋네.
I usually preferred a check, but Izzy looked so serious, I wrote out a full receipt. She seemed like a happy kid, but beneath it all, part of her life had been shattered. A part I wouldn't be able to fix.
Yeah.
My first repair complete, I spent the rest of the day doing small jobs in and around the square. I was exhausted when I got back to my hotel and found a message asking me to make one more visit. The address led me to a quaint little house, a stone's throw from the beach. Bathed in the evening light, it looked beautiful, in spite of its flaking paintwork and chipped tiles. The front door was opened by a harried-looking man, still dressed from a long day at the office.
Are you Maria? My name's Joseph. I'm Isabel's father. I'm so sorry she bothered you this morning. Please, come in. I'd like to settle up properly.
On the mantelpiece, I saw the remains of a broken statue. Without thinking, I picked up a fragment.
Ah, my father's statue. What's left of it, at least. Yet another way I'd have disappointed him. It survived 100 years in this family. But 5 minutes with Isabel and... Do you think you can salvage it? Will you be able to see the glue afterwards? I don't want people seeing the cracks. Is this glue really strong enough to hold everything together? Sometimes I think my daughter should come with a warning label. Thank you, Maria. It looks as perfect as it ever did. My father wanted me to make something of myself. He didn't have time for anything less.
As Joseph put the statue back on the shelf, it nudged against the family portrait stood proudly next to it. So he was Bellariva's mayor. And that was Izzy's mom. They must both miss her so much.
Sorry, I'm a little tired. I've been working late getting things sorted for the festival. There's only a few days to go. Looks like I'll be working late. Again?
When I told my parents I wanted to leave, they always found an excuse to be busy, to avoid talking about it. I guess keeping themselves occupied was their way of pretending it wasn't happening.
나가면 어떻게 빠지는구나.
Joseph's work must have been taking up so much of his time. But maybe that was what he wanted. I just hoped he was finding enough time for Izzy, too. My second day in Bellariva dawned bright and clear, another beautiful sunny morning. Walking into town, I passed cafes overflowing with customers cradling their morning coffees. I stopped, breathing in the smell of roasted coffee beans and freshly baked pastries. I was about to go inside when the owner of Carmen's, the cafe next door, stopped me.
Hello, Maria? Were you here yesterday handing out flyers? I have a job for you.
Her place was petite, tucked between its competitors as if hoping they wouldn't notice. Judging by the empty tables inside, though, her potential customers hadn't noticed it either.
It's a bit slow today, but we're just getting started. I'm sure it'll pick up soon.
As Carmen chatted, she walked over to the counter and returned with an old rotary phone.
At least I've got plenty of time to practice my recipe for the festival. It's a new special I've been working on. I was hoping to call my sister for some, seasoning tips, but it won't connect. Can you see if you can figure out what's wrong? Obviously, we'd normally be much busier than this. You can fix it, can't you? I can't afford to replace it.
난 또 약간 체험 느껴야 되나?
Looks like this new circuit board is all hooked up.
케이블 없는 데 동작하던 아니 케이블 없는 데 동작하던 거야 이거. 아니 안 쓰던 거 이거? 아니.
Still a few parts missing.
빨리 말고. 집어서 끼어지긴 한구나 이거. 약간 왜 안 꼈어? 끼었는데 안 끼었습니다. 껴지라고 좀. 아니, 잘못했다. 됐다. 놓아봐. 해나 암천이 어서서 그냥 어서는 왜 끼었구나.
Those screws still need to be put back.
안 끼워져. 아니, 안 끼워지지. 됐다.
When I handed the phone back to Carmen, she seemed almost
신상 좀 소리 빠진다. 어디 연결하지?
reluctant to take it from me.
So it's all working now, is it? I don't have to leave it to dry or let it cool down?
Nope, it's ready to go. It'll be ringing off the hook in no time.
근데 뒤에는 저 손이 빠져 있었는데 작동하게 하던가 저거?
That's if I can pay my phone bill anyway.
아 그런 거구나.
And the rent and the suppliers. Anyway, take a seat and I'll be right with you. Your coffee's on the house.
I sat at one of the empty tables, while at the counter, Carmen had started dialing the phone.
Hello! How's my favourite sister doing today?
As she talked, Carmen became more and more tense. This didn't seem like a call for some cooking advice.
I know I still owe you from last time, but I can't afford to take part in the festival if I don't pay.
I could almost feel the eye roll at the other end of the line.
You don't need to be here, though. Can't you just put the check in the post?
When the call ended, Carmen brought me my coffee, her hands trembling.
Sorry about that. My sister's decided to fly in for a visit. Oh God, I have to get ready. Actually, I might have another job for you. Can you come by tomorrow?
언제 나?
The next day, I'd promised Carmen I'd return to help her get the cafe ready for her sister's arrival. I was about to set out when I received an unexpected call from my hotel's reception desk. Apparently, another guest had asked for me by name. Curious, I took the creaking elevator up to the top floor and made my way to the room number they'd given. I knocked.
Are you here about the camera? It's about time.
The woman in front of me was immaculate. Not a hair out of place or a crease to be seen.
My sister tells me you know how to fix things. I'd usually go to an expert, of course, but in this town...
So this was Carmen's sister? The two of them couldn't have been more different. Inside her room, I saw a beautiful reflex camera. Any professional photographer's dream.
The viewfinder is completely dark. I can't see anything through it at all. I assume you can figure out what's wrong?
세우사가 있네. 일단 분해를 사용합시다.
I don't suppose you've fixed anything this valuable before.
If I used the screwdriver, I could adjust the angle of the mirror.
대충 해주네 이거.
Perfect. Now the viewfinder should be working.
아니지 이거. 이거 남. 뭐야 지금 거지 이거? 이렇게 해서 어떻게 하는 거겠죠?
There's still a part I need to attach. Where does it go?
아사가 많다. 아 여기.
I felt a pang of envy as I handed the camera to Helena. I put my disposable to shame.
I picked it up on my first trip to Paris. It's a 1958 limited edition, the first of its kind. It cost me 3 months' salary, but it was worth it.
I had no idea what 3 months' salary meant to Helena, but I was pretty sure it was more than I could afford. It was strange, really, that we were even staying in the same hotel. I'd picked this place because it was cheap and cheerful, but surely she could afford somewhere better? She took some test shots, fiddling with the camera settings until she was absolutely satisfied.
This work is immaculate. At least there's one person in this town who knows what they're doing. Sending you to me might be the first thing Carmen's actually gotten right.
I wondered why Helena had bothered coming if she thought so little of her sister.
I hear nothing from her for weeks, and then when she finally does call me, all she wants is money. If she thinks I'm lending her another penny, she'll have to convince me it's not a total waste of time.
That didn't sound good. If Hurricane Helena was about to hit, I hoped Carmen was ready.
이건 뭐냐? 무슨 기준이구나. 시인남이여.
The sun was setting over Bellariva by the time I reached Carmen's cafe. From the outside, it looked as quiet as ever, but inside, I found Carmen cleaning like her life depended on it.
문화가 없는데요. 문화가 이거 어떻게 생각하나요? 이 문화가 없는데.
Maria! Oh, don't mind all of this. If Helena finds one speck of dust in here, I'll never hear the end of it.
Carmen seemed pleased to see me, but I sensed the fidgeting tension beneath each sweep of her mop. Trying to live up to the standards of someone like Helena seemed like an impossible task.
이상한 앞에 있는데 혹시 앞에서 제 앞에 사쿠라키 놓고 먹고 계신가요? 아니면 문어 스키 하던가? 이상하다 이상하다 이 방송에 문어가 없는데
I hope you didn't mind fixing the camera for her. She was furious when it broke. I really need this to go well. If she doesn't lend me the money, I don't know how long I can keep this place going.
Carmen led me to a back room, where she'd laid out the components of what looked like a neon sign.
I had this made when I first opened the cafe, but I'm hopeless with electronics.
So there was supposed to be a sign outside. This might explain the lack of customers.
네 간판이 없다고. 잠시만요. 애매한 문어가 있네요. 전 문어가 아닙니다. 저는 문어가 아닙니다.
I'd like to put it up before Helena gets here. Can you give it a try?
나서 있구나. 아니 고치 익었다 이건 생수입이다 이거는 고치 익었다 아니고 조립하고 좋다 이건. 넣으면 되는 거. 너무 많은 거 아니고. 맞나? 이건가?
I don't know, it's a bit, flat. Maybe if it flashes, it'll really catch people's eye.
Great idea! I think I have a spare part that could do that.
아니 얘 번역이 없는데. 자막주야? 왜 자막 좀 해.
It still needs something else. Maybe we can add one of these.
아니 진짜 좀 주라고 진작에 좀. 나중에 영상 드립니다. 오케이. 저희가 빨리 끝내야겠다.
It works! I'll screw everything together again and you'll be set.
잘 계시네. 됐다. neon sign. 소리였어. 되겠다.
The sign fixed, we headed outside and mounted it carefully over the cafe door.
근데 아이스크림이 들어가 있어.
That's perfect, Maria. It looks just how I imagined it. When I had this sign made, it all seemed so simple. Oh, I can't believe I might have to give it all up. I hope I've done enough.
The smile froze on her face as she spotted something over my shoulder. I turned to see.
Of course, my sister owns the only cafe in this entire town that isn't actually open.
For better or worse, Helena had arrived. Carmen opened her mouth to explain, but Helena swept indifferently past her. Finally pausing in the doorway, she turned back towards Carmen.
The first thing we're doing is getting rid of that hideous sign.
And with that, she disappeared inside. I hoped Carmen's chances of saving the cafe hadn't disappeared with her.
근데 돈 벌려고 한다고 지금 돈을 못 받는 것 같은데 계속.
It was the day before the festival, and the whole town was busy getting ready. I had more work than I knew what to do with. When Joseph called with another job, I was craving the cool quiet of his and Izzy's seafront house. I'd barely reached their front door when I heard someone calling me.
Psst, Maria, I need your help. Quickly, it's top secret.
It was Izzy, peeking out from the side of the house. She beckoned for me to follow her. She led me through to a beautiful, unruly garden overflowing with flowers of every color. Nestled among them was a playhouse, its doorway almost completely obscured by a towering rose bush.
You have to squeeze past it and breathe in real small, like this.
Izzy took in a big gulp of air and crawled through the gap and into the playhouse. I hadn't planned on crawling in the dirt today, but the life of a repairwoman never did run smooth.
스위한 게임이에요.
On the table inside, there was an electronic toy. Not exactly the usual stock in my parents' antique shop.
I had an accident. I didn't do it on purpose or anything, but it won't turn on anymore. Can you fix it for me?
On the table inside,
Can
이게 웬일도지? 아니 박사는 뒤에 이걸 이거 부품에다 가지고 아니 부품에다 가지고 있는데 저를 나사 이거 나사를 끄는 거 아니구나. 잠시 한번 떨어졌다 이렇게 신난 것 문제제기에 뭐지? 옥상 됐다. 됐다. 야.
Do grown-ups play games as well?
아니 그네. 아니 그네 진짜. 지금 이 게임 하나 언제 공증 작업하는 거니?
Can you show me how to play? I tried before, but it was so hard.
게임을 시키네. 게임이 아니라 보이는데. 게임이 아니야 보이는데? 아니 왜 이거 못하니?
Her toy fixed, I watched Izzy retreat into its screen, taking refuge in a 3-inch world of her own. Well, I'd better head inside. Your dad is waiting for me.
Please don't tell him about the game. He'll think I broke it on purpose.
Why would he think that?
Because, well, I kind of dropped it really hard at the wall.
여기 떨어뜨리면 전진 보니까 꽤 이거한 거 같지 않나?
Izzy looked down, scuffing her shoes on the worn floor of the playhouse.
My dad said I have to go to this stupid festival tomorrow and put on a stupid dress, and I don't want to. All he cares about is working. He never wants to see me unless it's for his job. I'm not going. He can't make me.
With that, Izzy dove back through the rosebush and disappeared into the wilds of the garden. She was so young. She couldn't be expected to see that her dad was struggling too. It made me think, had I really tried hard enough to understand my parents' point of view? I was so focused on the adventures ahead of me. Maybe I didn't care enough about leaving them behind.
후유 되는 거구나. 신기하다. 왠지 이렇게
Leaving Izzy hiding in the garden, I walked around to the front of the house and rang the doorbell. It was only then I noticed my favorite overalls covered in grass stains. I scrubbed desperately, but it was too late.
Maria, what are you doing? What happened to your clothes?
I was, repairing a lawn mower.
How unusual. Well, do come in. The job I've got for you is a little more delicate.
Totally embarrassed, I walked into an orderly room filled with papers and ledgers. So this was his office. You must be so busy getting ready for the festival. Are you looking forward to it?
Of course. It's traditional for the mayor to judge food from every cafe and restaurant in town. I'll be declaring the best chef in Bella Riva by this time tomorrow. Speaking of which...
He unclipped the watch from his wrist and very carefully handed it to me.
I'll have a tight schedule to follow, but my watch stopped working a while ago. Could you see if you can make it tick again?
아니 그 아흔주연 씨의 굳이 왜 차고 다니신 거지? 딱히 뭐가 없네요.
Are you sure it will all fit back together?
아니 그 이거 하나 뺐다고 다시 왜 쓰냐는 거죠. 모르겠습니다.
Ah, the main plate has completely cracked. I'll need to replace it. cogs look good, though. If I'm careful, I can reuse those.
그렇구나. 먼저 와서 잘 뺀다. 이거 이형 작아지 이렇게 있네요.
I've not gone a day without this watch since my wife gave it to me.
아, 그래서 끼고 다니는 거구나. 걷어놓는 게. 이지만 아니, 잠깐 이거 안 빼야 되는 거였어? 어떻게 근데 저거 바뀌고 이양 빼야 되는 저건데. 그래서 어떻게 될까? 세상에 힘이 막히나? 움직인다. 나한테 된다서. 됐다. 됐네. 끝나서 안 됐나 싶은데.
As I handed the watch back to Joseph, my fingers traced over the engraving on the back. I hoped fixing this was one small way I could help him move forward.
I can't believe it's working, Maria. Thank you. My wife was a brilliant woman. Feeling this ticking on my wrist, it makes me feel like she's still here.
깨지면서 고장난 거 아니면 깨진 거 그냥 쓰고 있던 건가 근데.
Watches measure minutes and hours like they're infinite. I didn't know we had so little time. Even with Isabel, I barely see her. And when I do, she acts like she hates me.
Just then, the phone rang. Even when he was at home, his work was never done.
Sorry, Maria. I have to take this. I'll see you at the festival tomorrow.
As I left, I turned and saw him pacing the floor of his office, his watch glinting in the afternoon sun. I hoped its quiet ticking would at least bring him some peace during the busy days to come.
이게 몇 가지 시점까지 있던가? 시점이 하나 더. 절반 이게 끝나갔어.
When my last job of the day brought me to Carmen's apartment, the door was opened by someone I didn't expect to see, Helena.
Sorry for inflicting this mess on you. Carmen's never seen a knick-knack she doesn't want to buy, apparently.
무슨 말이지?
Carmen's apartment was a little chaotic, but totally charming. It was easy to imagine her living in a place like this. It definitely wasn't Helena's style. She seemed more upmarket than flea market. I wondered why she was even here.
We're having a clear-out, or at least I am. Carmen's not helping, as usual. There's a market at the festival tomorrow. I'm selling some of these things to make her some money. She says she has nothing when there's all this stuff right under her nose.
Helena stepped delicately past the items on the floor and reached down to pick up one from the pile.
Look at this slide projector. Our parents treasured it, but Carmen treats it like a piece of junk. Can you take a look?
일단 나사에다 풀어봐야겠죠?
Oh, typical. Carmen's even managed to get a slide stuck in here.
사이드 퀄리티가 이게 뭐야 근데 이게 뭐 하는 거지 이게? 사이드 영상이 같은 거 아니야?
That light bulb is completely smashed. Okay, I'll need to redirect the light to the lens at the top for the projector to work.
이렇게 되는 거지.
I was so excited when I moved to the city. Carmen, she looks so sad. Here's the clicker you'll need to attach. God knows how Carmen broke that as well.
There's still a part I need to attach. Where does it go?
When we were younger, Carmen was always following me around.
There's still a part I need to attach. Where does it go?
I suppose she looked up to me. A cool older sister. She used to ask me when I was coming home, but I was always too busy.
Helena was transfixed. Staring at the two young sisters the projector had brought glaringly into focus.
I never meant to let her down.
But you haven't, have you? You came all this way just to help with the cafe. Plus the money.
That's the problem. There is no money. I lost my job a few months ago. My savings are almost gone. I have nothing. Carmen thinks I'll throw my checkbook at her bad decisions and make them okay. But I can't. Not this time. You know, the funny thing is, I came here wanting to tell her the truth. But she's so infuriating. How can I ask her for help when all she cares about is herself?
Helena fell silent, shrinking under the gaze of her younger self, projected onto the wall.
We drifted so far apart when I moved away. It felt like the only thing keeping us together was my bank balance.
아니 근데 이거 뭔지 이거 며칠밖에 안 사는데 말만 할 거인가 근데 이게?
I know I have to tell her the truth. It isn't fair. But I already lost everything else. What if I lose her too?
The day of the festival finally came, and after all my hard work, I was ready to put down my tools and pick up a fork. The smell as I entered the main square was incredible. Each stall was selling food even more delicious than the last. The competition would start any minute. Most stall holders were waiting anxiously for the mayor to pay them a visit. All of them, that was, except Carmen, who was still frantically chopping vegetables and stirring pots.
Maria! Thank God you're here. Can I ask you the world's biggest favour? Helena was supposed to help me run the stall today, but she never turned up. Probably too ashamed to show her face. I can't believe she lied to me.
Carmen was stirring so furiously she was in danger of tipping the pot over altogether.
The mayor will be here any minute for the judging, but I'm almost out of my special.
She wasn't really going to ask me, was she? Not on my day off.
I have a stove ready to build and everything. Can you set it up and make me a spare batch?
아니 실혼이야 저희가 요리 지금 구입해야 되는 것도 구입을
It all fits. Now to light the gas.
안전한데 왜 안전한 안 보이잖아.
Oh, her recipe is a bit
이렇게
smudged.
먼저 가야 되구나.
Never mind. I'm sure whatever I put in will be fine.
뭔 소리야 지금 진짜. 버티는 데는 세기랑 비 그냥 버티는
I think that pot is really boiling now. Smells great if I say so myself.
이거는 근데 이거 진짜 이거는 그냥
Here are the ingredients that Carmen's given me. What to add first?
어떻게 하나 이거.
That looks good. I'll scoop a spoonful when I'm ready to serve.
And half of care. 진짜 진짜. 이거最 wide. 원년인가?
My part done, Carmen took over and added the finishing touches. It was just in time, as a moment later, Joseph arrived with Izzy in tow. Carmen anxiously handed them both a serving.
근데 이거 대충 넣어도 이거 되는 건가 이거?
That was so tasty.
대충 넣어도 되는 건가?
Can I have some more, please?
대충 넣어도 되는 거야 이거?
Well, you've certainly earned yourself a loyal customer in my daughter. We have a few more meals to taste, but so far you are one of the best. Good luck.
아니 요리사한테 커피하고 있던 거 이 사람.
Joseph and Izzy looked so happy together. Maybe the festival was doing them some good after all. Carmen, on the other hand, seemed annoyed. But why, when it had all gone so well?
I wish Helena was here to see this. She's so convinced I'll never succeed at anything.
She wants what's best for you. She's just not very tactful about it.
Yes, I know. Even when I was a kid, she pushed me when no one else did. I just wish she hadn't lied to me. But then, I've asked so much of her over the years. I never stopped to think how much she actually had to give.
The festival finished. I only had one day left before I had to catch my train and leave Bella Riva behind. I couldn't go without saying goodbye to Carmen. So, that evening, I made my way to the cafe. It was unrecognizable. She'd done it. Best food in Bella Riva. Half the town was outside waiting to see what the fuss was about.
Maria! My favorite sous chef. Come on through.
It was Carmen, acting every inch the successful cafe owner she deserved to be.
저쪽은 카페에서 저런 것도 파는가 보죠?
Even Helena was there, serving the coffees. This was the last place I expected to see her after yesterday's drama. Carmen led me through to a balcony upstairs, where she brought out an old record player.
I found out where Helena was on the day of the festival. She was selling her camera to clear the cafe's debts. But then she didn't have much left for herself. So, I've asked her to come and stay with me for a while. We have a lot of catching up to do. I wanted to give her this, to cheer her up. We listened to it all the time when we were kids. Do you think it has one last tune in it?
여기는 잘 끝난 것 같네요.
Okay, let's see what happens when we turn this on. The speaker isn't connected properly. I should check the wiring. Here's the problem. This wiring isn't connected properly.
어떻게 연결되는 거지 이거?
If I turn the volume up, I should be able to hear it now. I think that should do it. This record should play beautifully.
에이핑 빼는데 이거 하면서 해야 되나?
It's spinning the wrong way. How can I get it to play in the right direction? It must be to do with the motor. Let's see if one of these spares can turn things around.
해야 되니? 모터가 되겠다. 이제 어제 이것도 빼야 되는구나 이거. CW 이거다. 이런 건가?
Well, it's playing in the right direction. I should check it's turning at the correct speed.
These days, the sweetest word.
What will remain of the smile?
The record player's crackling tune must have caught Helena's ear, as she appeared a few moments later.
Is that my old record player? I can't believe you've kept it all these years, Carmen.
Leaning over the music, they looked just like the young sisters the slide projector had preserved all these years, inseparable once again. Carmen told me about your camera. That was a really generous thing to do.
I loved that camera, but I love my sister more. Now it's her time to be the person she wants to be. I'm going to stay here with her for a while. Make up for lost time.
Carmen and Helena's relationship wasn't suddenly going to be perfect, but they were both prepared to try. And to think, it had all started because of a call Carmen made about some seasoning tips. I guess in the end, maybe it wasn't so hard to just pick up the phone and dial. I hadn't spoken to my own parents in a year. I wanted to hear their voices more than anything. But the silence between us was so cavernous. I didn't know how I'd ever find the words to bridge it.
이게 뭐니? 이게 뭐지? 이게 뭐지? 이게 뭐지?
My final morning in Bella Riva, I received one last call out to Joseph and Izzy's house. I knew I had to pack, but I figured I could squeeze in one final job before I had to leave. When I arrived, I found Joseph tidying up his wilderness of a garden. The playhouse was already cleared. Inside, I could see Izzy happily testing out her screw-driving skills on the back of her cassette deck.
You've made quite the impression. Izzy, tells me she's going to be a repairwoman like Maria.
I'm sure she could be anything she wanted if she put her mind to it.
이 인간 진짜 사실 다 고치는데 있겠나? 시스터도?
She could. She's a brilliant child. Spending the day with her at the festival, I haven't had so much fun in ages. I wanted to give her something before she starts to forget.
고치는 게 딱히 어려워진 거 아닌데 그냥 지식이 없으면 어떻게 좀 버텨놔야죠?
Inside, the house was transformed, flooded with light and the sounds of the garden. It felt alive again. This would be my last repair in Bellariva, but it felt like it was the house that had really been restored.
It's a music box. It used to play beautifully, but now when I wind it up, nothing happens.
아니 좀 고치고서 하라고 좀 고치고서 좀 아니 자고 전화했네.
I'd love for Izzy to hear it sing again. Can you help?
네가 오버했구나 이게. 어디 가는 거야? 뭐가 있는 것 같지 않은데 괜히 나오지.
Maria, could you add this family picture of us?
내가 써야겠구나. 이건 무슨 사진이지? 아니, 안 되겠네. 이거 앞에 냈던 거 아닌가? 이거는?
This mechanism is completely broken. I'll need to take it all apart before I can fix it.
완전히 고장. 아니 이 사람이 추가 온 거면서 이 사람 부품이 이렇게 많이 그냥 부품이다 어디가 이거 다 갖고 다닌 거가 이 사람이고 주인공은 뭐하는 사람이 이 사람 진짜 적세나는 진짜 어디서 돌리는 거야 이거. 이게 아니고 이거 안 손이 되는데 이렇게 하고 그냥 좀 보이는구나 이거.
I think that's everything back together again. I should play it to make sure.
My wife used to sing this song to Izzy each night before bed, but I always worked too late to join them. Will you dream for me?
진짜 누나가 나중에
Sit by your side and hold you. I've missed so much already. I want to be the father my wife wanted me to be. I've ended up so much like my own father, working all the time. Izzy needs me more than that, especially now it's just the two of us. My daughter comes first. Well, until she gets bored of her stuffy old dad anyway.
I'll never ever get bored of you, Dad.
Izzy came running into the room where Joseph scooped her up and onto his shoulders. She gazed at the music box, her eyes shining. I'd never seen her look so happy.
Thank you, Maria, for everything. The things you fixed for me. I'm so glad to have them back.
Joseph was a good father, and I could tell he was determined to be an even better one. When it came down to it, that was all any of us wanted. A second chance. My time in Bellariva was almost over, but before I left, I knew there was something of my own I needed to fix. My time in Bellariva was almost at an end. Another chapter finished in a story whose ending I hadn't felt ready to write. The people I'd met, the items I'd restored, they'd taught me so much about what was really important. Pulling out my suitcase from beneath the bed, I remembered the day I stole it from my parents' shop, the day I left. Afterwards, I was too ashamed to call them, to apologize. It was a guilt I'd been carrying around every day since. As I packed, I knew that it was up to me to find a way to lighten the load. The recipe for Carmen's special. I'm under strict instructions to guard it with my life.
아니 안 보이잖아.
My parents would love Bellariva. Maybe I can convince them to make the trip. The soundtrack to my travels. I'll be listening to this on the journey. My train ticket. I can't believe it's time to leave Bellariva behind.
진영.
Izzy gave me this in exchange for my repair manual. She'll be a pro in no time.
진영을 썼지.
Helena gave me these designer shirts. Not sure I'll pull them off as well as she does. Joseph's idea of light reading for the train. It does look thorough.
아니
My suitcase was full, but it was my heart that felt heavy as I made my way to the station. I was sorry to be leaving Bellariva behind, but I hoped that in my own small way I'd made a difference. Helena and Carmen's reunion was possible because they'd learned to overcome their differences. Joseph had realized he shouldn't let his grief or his work get in the way of his relationship with Izzy. They'd each learned to see things from someone else's perspective. Maybe it was time I saw things through my parents' eyes. I knew it would be easier to jump on the next train, put even more distance between us, but I finally felt ready to talk to them. And just didn't know if they would feel the same. Did I even remember their number? I wasn't sure until I reached for the phone and it all came flooding back. Mom? Dad?
Maria? Is that you?
Dear Maria, Carmen here. Sorry I haven't written. The cafe's been absolutely manic since you left. Luckily, I have Helena here to help. You wouldn't recognise her. She's like a new woman. She's always running round, taking orders and making drinks. I even heard her compliment a customer on their outfit. Personally, I draw the line at fluorescent green bowling shirts, but each to their own. It certainly made the customer smile. She misses the city, though. Bellariva's many things, but it's definitely not as chic as she'd like. She said there was a coffee shop near her old apartment where they made coffee with a shape drawn on top. It got me thinking, I'm an award-winning chef. I can figure out how to put a leaf on a cappuccino. A bit of cosmopolitan coffee might be just what Helena needs. Of course, ordering a new coffee machine was the easy part. I wish you could have seen the mess I got into trying to put the thing together.
아니 저희 좀 상 막 쳐. 저희 막 손을 펴봤는데 왜?
I saw Maria use her screwdriver a million times. Taking this apart will be easy. These pipes look pretty simple. I should start with them.
단순해 보이지 않는데.
Oh, I wish Maria was here. She'd know how to put these pipes together. Why is there so much steam? That can't be right.
이거 조이는 거 없지?
The pipes are all connected, but there's still steam everywhere. Something's in the wrong place. Finally, no more steam.
터치했나? 뭐지? 바꾼 거 같은데 안 바꿨나 보네. 피하고. 어디다 굽는지야. 맛있구나. 선이 어디야? 이게 저쪽이면 이제 왼쪽 게 아래쪽이고. 아니 귀찮게 왜 벌써 되지 왜. 아 이거 그냥 진짜 뭐야 꽂으면 진짜 같이 가서 그 튀긴 거 마지막 판매해주는구나 왜. 볼 필요가 없었네? 이거 어디서 꽂아야 되는가 이거. 후대 꽂으면 되나? 딱히 뭐 안 보이는데. 그림을 다시 하면 돼. 그림 분해 다시 하면 되지 뭐. 보이는 거 있고요. 이거 내려지 이거 뭐 상관없네. 그림을 다시 하면 튀었으면 다시 클릭하면 돼. 뭔가 그냥 아니
It doesn't seem to work unless the circuit lights are all green.
꽂을 때가 지나가고 이제 안 깨는데 우선 꽂을 때가 어디야? 이쪽에도 뭐 빼는 거 있고 꽂는 거 있구나 이거 못 봤네. 그럼 이쪽을 본 거죠? 내가 1, 저는 저기 2가 3이 뭐니까 1 이건 지휘권을 지가 사던 애들이 되고 지켜야 되는 분이 어쨌거나 있고 지휘권을 지가 사 있냐고 하던데.
I think that's everything. Better test the buttons, just to make sure.
카푸치노
All done. Piece of cake. Time to make my first coffee, I think.
커피 위한 cep션 우리도 포해야 돼. 우리도 포해야 돼. 이거 독수리 얘 집을 또 쓰네.
Smells delicious. Now to make it look magical.
갖다 버리는데 왜? 예.
A perfect coffee. All it needs is a saucer and a couple of Helena's favourite biscuits.
이게 완벽한 거야? 바닥에 있는 걸 내가 집 뒤집을 들어가지고 거기다 올려야 되는구나. 아, 좋다.
I was feeling more has-been than coffee queen by the time I'd made a drink fit for human consumption. It looked a bit, postmodern, but knowing Helena's refined taste,
이거는 이거 지금 일단 글자
I hoped she'd think it was intentional.
소리가 좀 그냥 꺼져가지고 그냥 그런 소리였어.
Always the connoisseur. She didn't even bother to look at it at first. She was so busy wafting it under her nose. Steamed up her glasses, of course. How was she going to see my work of art through an eye full of fog? When she finally spotted it, though, she was totally impressed.
진짜 멀리서 글자가 아니다.
I'll admit, she spent several minutes trying to figure out exactly what it was I'd drawn. She decided it was probably a horse. Well, what she doesn't know won't hurt her. She was impressed enough to ask for another one. I guess I'll need to get some practice. The whole thing was such hard work, Maria. I never realised how difficult it was, all that mechanical stuff. It made me realise how much I have to thank you for, so I wanted to say that now. Better latte than never. Hoping you're well. Your friend, Carmen.
끝인가? 끝이다. 끝. 1시간 반 걸렸네요. 뭐 1시간 반 게임 정도 1시간 반 딴다고 나왔는데 드디어 끝났네요. 이거 업적이었는데 왜 에피오그 클리어가 왜 마지막 스테이지 클리어 그것도 많지 왜? 뭐 하다가 그냥 끝 중간에 끈 사람이 있다 치니까 레어즈 그건 고쳐준대. 예. 생각보다 빨리 끝나는데 생각보다 빨리 끝난 거 아니든 어쨌든 방송 안 갈 거 있나? 잠깐만요. 잘못 넣었다. 두 비트. 두 비트. 이거 5시간 정도, 4시간 정도 오래 걸리네. 얘는 딱히 끝나는 거 아니고. 일단 오늘은 그냥 짧게 할게요. 평소에 비해 엄청 짧고 다니기는데. 그럼 템바